Why does the internet continue to live in the delusion that most morbidly obese women are confident in the way they look? Fat body positivity influencers on social media have been working harder than the devil to convince people that obese women are living these happy and glamorous lives. These content creators want the viewer to believe that being morbidly obese is not an issue and it doesn't hold them back from living their lives however they want. But I don't believe that. Content like this has always seemed like performance art to me. It feels like these women are putting on a show, playing a character for the camera. Now we can argue that most social media influencers do this. The difference is that their health is not on the line. If you think about it, these women spend, 1 hour a day doing their makeup, doing their hair, putting on a cute outfit. They get out their cell phone cameras and they take the perfect 60-second video of them living their best lives. And that is all the viewer ever gets to see. So when you line these videos up, it gives you the impression that being morbidly obese is not a terrible thing. But we all know that's a goddamn lie. Being fat is embarrassing. Being fat sucks. I would know because I am technically overweight and I used to be obese. One thing these body positivity influencers always seem to omit from their TikTok videos is how embarrassing it is to be morbidly obese, how painful it is to be morbidly obese, and how smelly it is to be morbidly obese. Fat people are embarrassed on a daily basis because of their weight. For example, walking up a flight of stairs with a group of people and trying to pretend like you're not winded when you get to the top because you're embarrassed by all of the excess weight that you carry. Movie theater seats, bus seats, any fixed width seat, and the embarrassment of having to stuff your fat ass into one and then hold your torso upright so that you don't spill into the next person's chair. Bar stool chairs, booths at restaurants, so that the people that you go to restaurants with always have to wait for a goddamn table to become available because you don't fit anywhere else. Narrow passageways, hills, lying down flat and then trying to get back up, the fear of breaking white lawn chairs, eating in front of other people and pretending like you only eat a normal portion of food because you are too embarrassed to show people how much you binge eat when you are alone. And the most embarrassing part of being morbidly obese, especially as a woman, that body positivity influencers absolutely refuse to talk about, is the smell that comes from between their legs. Yes, I'm going to go there today. Do you honestly believe that there is no smell? Do not sit here and pretend like you don't have a smell. That's a lie. You are not any different than any other woman. Vaginas are orifices that produce moisture 24 hours a day. And when you're morbidly obese, your thighs are so big that there's no ventilation down there. And that moisture builds up. And when that moisture builds up and it mixes with natural bacteria, it creates an unpleasant odor. Now add in menstruation and then sweating in the summertime to that. Being a morbidly obese woman is quite smelly, but nobody ever wants to talk about that reality. Y'all would rather find tips and tricks online to manage your feminine hygiene as a fat woman while dancing around and revealing clothing on the internet, pretending like your obesity is attractive, than just lose weight. How ridiculous is that? How many morbidly obese women do you know that dress up in these tight, revealing clothing and then have the confidence to parade themselves outside in front of other people? I'll wait. The reality is, most people's skin is not thick enough to deal with the amount of ridicule a morbidly obese woman would endure if she dressed like these women do in public. But we are supposed to believe that these women's skin is thick enough to handle the disapproval and ridicule. So then why not show us the reality of your life? Why not show us all the stares that you get? Why not show us how you lose confidence to walk past a group of people because you are afraid that they will judge you or make fun of you? Because that's something that a lot of fat people deal with. I know I dealt with it, which is why I lost weight. And I'm not even saying that ridiculing another person for being fat is a good thing. It's a legitimately shitty thing to do. However, it is reality. Those people exist and their words affect you. You are not immune. The reality is the way that these women look is shocking. Why can't we say that? I'm not saying that a fat woman cannot be confident. Sure they can. There are definitely some obese women out there who truly like the way they look. But I just don't believe that they are the majority. When you look like the women in these videos, you take shots to your self-esteem on a daily basis. But in our society, women in particular are obsessed with this idea of pretending like you don't. Women love lying to obese women and telling them that their obesity isn't unattractive, when we all know that that is a goddamn lie. I don't believe for a second that these women's self-esteem is so high that they can endure the constant stares and pointing and mockery from other people around them as they wear these bikinis out in public while shooting a TikTok video. I mean, let's make sense here. And yet, all of the superficial likes and the "you go girl" comments that they get on platforms like TikTok seem to make this embarrassment worth their while. Why? And have you ever noticed how an obese woman will call herself everything under the sun except for fat or obese, plus size, bigger girl or big girl, more to love, BBW, thick, curvy, chubby, heavy set, big boned, voluptuous, fluffy, husky? Don't tell me that you are confident in the way you look when you refuse to refer to your body as fat or obese. All of these words are called euphemisms. And if you didn't know, people use euphemisms instead of the actual word to avoid talking about sensitive topics that hurt people's feelings. Now, why would the term obese, to refer to a person with an unhealthy amount of body fat, be upsetting? It's literally a fact. Redheads don't get upset when you call them redheads, and tall people don't get upset when you call them tall. Now, some people might say that the word fat and obesity have negative connotations, but so does cancer, and so does flesh-eating bacteria. Words tend to have negative connotations because they represent negative things. When you look up plus size, thick, curvy hashtags on Instagram or any social media site, you get imagery of all of these happy, confident, obese women, fashion, food, travel, drinking, and the like. But when you look up hashtags like obese, obesity, and fat, suddenly the imagery on social media changes to diet, weight loss, and the negative effects of being obese. Isn't it strange how when people refer to themselves by the correct terms, they suddenly lose the confidence to dance around on the internet like their obesity is attractive? By referring to themselves by the correct term, it forces them to accept their situation and then change it. I know it did for me. And why doesn't body positivity include any men? I want any fat woman watching this video to riddle me that. It is damn near 100% about fat women only. Why is that? Why is it that fat men don't need to create content begging the world for validation for the way that they look? It's almost as if fat men are starkly aware that their obesity is not attractive, so they don't feel the need to go around online pretending otherwise. So then why do women do it? And what good does it do to praise a morbidly obese influencer for being morbidly obese? What has a morbidly obese influencer accomplished by overeating and gaining a dangerous amount of weight? And why is this behavior always referred to as brave and inspirational? People who drink too much are never praised for their alcoholism, and addicts are never thought of as inspirational. And yet, being an obese woman on social media in the 21st century is lauded as some act of bravery. But obese men are never given this treatment. Why do you think obesity in women specifically is given praise when other destructive behaviors like drinking too much and drugs are viewed negatively? Riddle me that, fat body positivity influencers.